No.
What's up? Hey you, what's up? Happy Friday. Right? Yeah, I cannot keep up with time. Anyways, talk to me. How was your day? I spent the entire day with my daughter. We went to this place called Dinosaur Land, and it was a pretty cool experience. She had fun. That's all that matters. There's a lot to do. Got some steps in. Got some exercise. Got to take some pictures. Hi, Lucy. I am doing good. How are you doing today? I was just sharing my day. I spent the day at this place called Dinosaur Land. It's like an outdoor amusement park, water park, and can you please stop? And like a walk. Had a lot of scenery, a lot of walking for you to like go and visit this stuff. So it was a pretty unique experience. How are you? So today, the topic for my India talk today is, should you share your past? I not like my hair like this. Like this way is fine, but this side, I did not like it. Should you share your past traumas, triggers, and past relationships? Like the reason why it ended. Should you share that with people moving forward? And I personally think, yes, you should. There was like a whole debate online where people were like, never tell the next person like what you went through. And never share like why your relationship ended, because it'll be used against you, and those that hear what happened to you, they'll just up the ante. They'll do it worse, and they use your traumas and your triggers against you. And while I get that, I feel like I would still share. Like that's what just happened to me, like the relationship that I just got out of. I shared everything with this person, and they did all those things to me, plus they upped the ante. Would that stop me from sharing with the next person or people? No, because there's a thing called flaws and all. Like you are, if you're not being your authentic, genuine self, and you're faking it or you're trying to hide shit, then you're going to attract that type of energy. You're going to attract fake, hidden agendas, all types of stuff. Like you should just be open. I'm sorry, this shit hurts. You should just be open. That person who's going to accept you, that person who's going to value what you went through and don't want to put you through that again, they're out there. And if you're faking it or you're afraid to share that because of what could come from it, then you are not living in your authentic self, and you are going to attract the very thing that you are not looking for. So I personally think that you should never be afraid to share your story. You should never be afraid to share your truth. You should never be afraid to share anything that you went through, especially if you have survived it and been able to live through it and still talk about it. So it was a very hot topic that was on the internet not too long ago, and I thought it would be a good thing to talk about. Hi, Brad J. I would say no, because that could be used in a bad way. I mean, if they ask questions, I wouldn't mind telling them, but I wouldn't willingly share it. Interesting. Why wouldn't you willingly share it? I think yes, if they ask questions, but it's not even, I don't think that you should share it with everyone. Let me clarify that. Like, just because you're dating or whatever, like, I don't think that you should share it with people that you're dating. I think that if you're moving to the next step and getting in another committed situation, and that person, you feel like they're trustworthy or you're learning each other, I don't think that you should be afraid to share that. I get the concept behind it. I really do. But my love, just don't see how it will benefit anything. Maybe it could, I just don't see it at the moment. Do you think that high 3D visual AZ, do you think that you're being your authentic self with hiding that or omitting that from somebody that you're trying to be committed to and trying to build a life with? It's the same thing of like people that have surgery, right? And they change their looks and then they never tell the person that they got married to and started having kids with that they altered, stay on this side, baby, that they altered their looks. And then when the kids come out looking like their original selves, there was like a whole lawsuit. There was a whole lawsuit on like a guy that sued his wife because she had facial plastic surgery and she didn't look like anything how she was born, and then the kids ended up looking like just like her before the surgery, and he was pissed. So I think about it in the same concept of you should be willing to share and not be afraid, because then if you're being afraid, then who are you really with? Like, they don't know who you really are and what you've lived through and what you survived, and then you shouldn't be afraid to open up to whoever you're building a life with or whoever you're committing to. And if that fear of like, oh, if I tell them what I've been through, they're gonna do it to me again, then one, that shows that you're not healed, and two, that shows that you haven't learned anything from your previous relationships, to be able to look out for those signs and being able to omit moving to the next stage with those type of people, those type of individuals anyways. So I think for one, you shouldn't be afraid and you should be willing, because it says a lot about you and your healing, your healed self, your authentic self, your genuine self. And then you're attracting, like, you want to attract what you are or better. So if you're not operating in your authentic self, if you're not moving forward with your life lessons, and you're not being able to identify and audit somebody quickly based on the things that they say, based on their paraverbals, nonverbals, like, you should, the older you get and the more things you've been through, the more you should be able to pick up these things like right away. So you said you're not in a relationship because you're very insecure. Why are you insecure? And what are you insecure about? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying that to me right now on the internet, right? But this is something that could be used against you. Like, if you don't work on that, you will attract certain negative entities towards you, people that will use that as an advantage. So it's something that you should work on. I don't think that you should be afraid to share it, but I do think that you should know why you are insecure and then work on ways to build your confidence. Because if you're insecure, you're going to either attract other insecure people and it's not going to work, or you're going to attract people that's going to use that as a ante up. They're going to play on your feelings. They're going to play on this trauma that you have, because your insecurity is usually tied to a trauma. And they're going to butter you up, build you up, and break you down, and it's going to be at the least convenient time for you. So whether you share that with somebody or not, because you're confident, you're like, insecurity and confidence my love, is an energy thing. So people can see if you're insecure just as much as people can see if you're confident. So you need to work on your insecurities and build your confidence. But I'm glad that you're aware of that. Hi, Keith. As your peace grows, your abundance flows. Maybe bless my strong and resourceful friend. Likewise. I'm not insecure about my physical self because I'm handsome. I've heard anyways. But it's my emotion and reactions I guess I'm insecure about. Oh yeah, insecurity is it's a tiered thing. It doesn't always have to be physical. You could be insecure about a lot of stuff. But like I'm saying, you should be all this side, Blue, on this side. Excuse me. You shouldn't be afraid to share that, because you want to attract somebody that would want to help you build that up, and not with an ulterior motive. Not somebody that's just like, oh, here's this insecure person, I'm gonna fake giving them. Sit down while you eat your veggie straws, please. Sit. Thank you. If you're afraid to share that, then you're going to attract people that are gonna use that as a ploy, use that as a way to siphon certain things from you because of your insecurity, and then they're just gonna play in your face with it whenever they feel and deem appropriate. Versus if you were open and willing to share that with somebody that understood it and wanted to help you instead of hinder you, then that person you would attract the type of person that maybe had their own insecurity and worked on it themselves or figured out something, and they can give you healthy confidence building skill sets, and never throw it in your face and never boast about it or share it with other people that they helped you. Like, people do things for a lot of different things. Hey, Ren. How are you doing today? Girl, I'll be going live every day. Where you be at? I was doing like 2 lives a day, honestly, but at random times. I don't have a set time yet. Like, my life is all over the place, but I don't have a set time. Like, oh, I go live every day at this time. It's just whenever the day sees fit. But how are you doing today? Yeah, I've been talking about mad different things on my lives, but today we're talking about, should you share your traumas, your triggers, and your past relationship experiences, i.e. like why it didn't work out with the next person. That I say, like, when you're dating, maybe not, but somebody that you're gonna be trying to get into another committed situation with, I don't think that you should be afraid to share your traumas and your triggers and like why your past relationship didn't work out, in the fear that they will use it against you or up the ante and do it to you twice. What do you think? I think you should always be operating in your authentic, genuine self. That's how you attract what's meant to be. Like, whatever whatever didn't work out happened for a reason. And then if you're moving forward with withholding things or hiding things and being afraid, then you're not operating in your authentic self, and you're going to attract the very thing that you don't want to happen to you again. Oh, Keith and Brett J were talking. I'm not insecure about my physical self because I'm okay. I read that already. Okay. Yeah, Brett J. I've had lots of things. Like, my past relationship, everything I shared with that person, they upped the ante. They doubled it. They tripled my past experiences and did it to me worse. They amplified it. Am I afraid to move forward and like not tell somebody like the next person? No, I'm not. What doesn't break you builds you. My day has been good. I took my daughter to Dinosaur Land. Heal your traumas and trigger in the meantime. Agreed. Well, not when you're dating, but yeah, when you're thinking of someone's. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. There was I wanted to talk about that because there was a whole debate about it on the internet a while ago. And like, since I'm moving on or trying to move on, but not like with somebody, just working on my healed self, I thought about that, like, because I've seen people make, especially women, I've seen them make very valid points, like, don't share with a man like your traumas and your triggers and like why the past relationship didn't work out. Just say like, oh, we decided to just go our separate ways. Like, don't really tell them the truth. And I don't know, I'm a Sagittarius. Like, I'm a truth teller. I cannot lie. I just have to be myself. Either you fucks with it or you don't. Or you gonna... That's just what it is. Like, I am very black and white. Yes and no. I like you. I don't like you. I love you. I hate you. There's no gray area with me. And that bothers a lot of people. But it is what it is. And so I can't. And like, I always have to tell the truth. Because I don't like lying. Like, when you lie, you got to keep up with what you said. And I don't have the mental capacity for that. Like, my brain's already a database. I remember everything, times and dates and the season and the weather. Like, my brain is... So I don't have time to, like, jam pack it with lies and stories and shit that don't make sense. It doesn't even go in my DNA. So, right? And you're a Sagittarius too, so you know how we are. Like, there's just no gray area with me, and I can't pretend. Like, I can't pretend. Can you stay off of this and stay over here on this side? What happened with your stuff? I can't. I can't. So but I was agreeing with. Go pick it up. I was agreeing with the videos that I seen of people talking about these topics and why. Like, they were giving very valid stuff that was like hitting home. And it made me think, like, would I do that? But I just couldn't, yo. I agree. The truth is always going to come out. And then, right, the truth always going to come out in the end. And like, I am not trying to attract negative karma. I don't want to attach myself again to somebody else. And then that's the thing about karma. It works in a lot of different ways. Like, you can have your own karma from not making good decisions. But then you also, if you get with somebody that just like lives their life in the gutter, the longer you're attached to them, the more you start getting like, because the more you start getting their karma, you experience their karma, because karma is energy. Everything's energy. Energy is one of those things that it cannot be destroyed. It could only be transferred. So moving forward, I was saying that everything in your life happens for a reason. And then if it didn't work out, there was always lessons. You know, you never lose. You just always learn. So if you're not equipping the lessons and it's not helping you condense time where you're able to read people very quickly, you're able to listen to what's being said, what's not being said, read through their bullshit, pick up their energy, their nonverbals, paraverbals, all that stuff, then you didn't really learn anything. And it doesn't matter if you verbally share it or not. You are going to get screwed in the end because you're not able to pick up on all these things because you didn't learn in your previous relationship or your previous relation. So it doesn't matter if you try to hinder it or cover it. It will come out in the end. So I think that if you have learned and also healed and took time for yourself and understood why that happened, took accountability, and then move forward, right? You live and you learn. Then you move forward. When you are dating, you won't waste your time with those people who show you the paraverbals and the nonverbals, and you'll be able to sift and sort through what they say. Like, I did a a short today, which made me also want to talk about this because I did a short today that said if somebody wastes 10 minutes of your time, 8 of those minutes are your fault. And the theory behind that is you should get to a point in a life where all your skills are there, the frequency of your skill sets and your abilities to like build those skills should always be evolving. So if you can't tell in 2 minutes time of talking to somebody, whether it's a platonic, whether it's a dating, any of those things, if you can't tell, or like a coworker, anyone, if you can't tell and read through people's bullshit, then whatever you get is on you. You know what I'm saying? And if you let people waste your time, they're going to waste your time every single time. Because there's a lot of people that just enjoy wasting other people's time. Or there's people that think that they're, they live in a life of where they're playing a game all the time. And they want to see how they can siphon whatever they can siphon from somebody. So your listening skills, your ability to read nonverbals, paraverbals, body language, and be able to listen to what's being said, more importantly, what's not being said, should always get better with time, especially through pain, through suffering, through struggling, heartbreak. Your ability with that stuff should, the time of you being able to pick on it should be condensing. The older that you get and the more experienced that you are. So that kind of goes with today's live. Like, it's you. You shouldn't be afraid because you're getting better. You're gaining more clarity. You're having more understanding. You're able to pick up on the red flags and the bullshit and the games and the energy. Like, you have to start learning how to read people's energy. And it's a long thing. As far as the energy is concerned, it's either you're tapped in or you're not. And if you're tapped in, and like us, Sagittarius, we're usually empaths. So you picking up everybody's energy. So what we have to be able to do is be able to shield other people's energy and just always operating in our own energy and staying in a state of neutral, meaning not getting too high and not getting too low, but keeping a balance. But being an empath, you are picking up everybody else's energy, and then other people around you are always trying to siphon your energy because we're very much life of the party people. And we're very much, it depends on our mood. That's why people are always like, oh, they're bipolar. And they're like, it's just like, if you don't understand how we are as a people, like, if I was up and super happy and excited yesterday, that doesn't necessarily mean that's how I'm going to be tomorrow. And I have to be with somebody that understands that and doesn't hold that against me. It just be the day and the mood. And I can't make somebody who doesn't get that. You know what I'm saying? But see, you're supposed to learn then live, not live then learn. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yeah, I do agree with that. Also, with the live and the learn, I think that with everything across the board in life, you have to get to a point where you are willing to learn and then unlearn all the stuff you learned and then relearn for yourself and like how you want to live and how you want to be celebrated and how you will show up and the things that you'll tolerate and how you're going to move forward with your life, because that's always the end of my message of my lives, of turning your life into a lifestyle. Because if you never get to that point in life where you have to let go of everything that you learned and then be willing to unlearn it and then relearn yourself and how you want to live, you will always be caught up in that cycle of living your life how your parents want you to live, society wants you to live, and how school and jobs try to condition you to live in structure and a schedule and a routine. And us as Sagittarius, like, schedule and routines are boring to us. It feels like jail. And I'd rather create my own structure. I don't want to be in somebody else's routine and on somebody else's time. So until you get to that point in life, no matter your zodiac sign or not, you have to be willing to to unlearn like how somebody tells you to show up in the world, how somebody tells you to live and to think and to be and to love. Like, you should be creating your own portfolio with everything that has to do with your life, because it's your life. It's a big world out here, gang. You eat or get eaten. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But I mean, you can also learn to tap out of that stuff too. But yeah, I think that you should never be afraid to be yourself. You should never be afraid to share anything that you live through, anything especially that you suffer through, because I like to always remind y'all that whatever you suffer through and struggle through and survive through, my daughter is doing the most. It doesn't go wasted. It goes towards your purpose. Nothing that you go through is wasted. So embrace it. Don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to be judged, because people are going to judge you anyways. Whether you're up, whether you're down, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, happy, sad, mad, it don't matter. People are going to judge you. So you have to release yourself from the bondage of other people's opinions and other people's approval. And you have to release yourself from other people saying yes to you, like, and liking yourself. I think I talked about that the other night. Like, when you wake up, you should like yourself. Anything else you get in the day is extra. And now that we live in social media world, people post. Like, when you post or make a video, you should be the first person that's liking it, or you should be the first person that's sharing it. You shouldn't feel that conformed of like, oh, I didn't get this, nobody liked it, or nobody shared it. What? Do it your fucking self, yo. Anything you get after that is extra. So, you know, always be very self-motivated, self-driven, and that's how you attract the people that's like you and the people that's better for you. The more that you live not in your authentic self and not genuine and being a people pleaser, the more you be in somebody else's circle and you get caught up in those continuous cycles of like, damn, how did I fall for this? Or how did I fall for that? Or how did I get with the same person just in a new body and a new name? And it's because, man, you are not operating in your authentic self. Like, for myself, in my example with just my long-term relationship, I shouldn't have started dating that person because I was at the time in a depression. And when you are in a depressed state, when you're in a dark state, darkness attracts more darkness. You attract dark intensities. So when I think back about a lot of the stuff that we were bonding on, it was all dark stuff. And when I started to come out of that, I would try to help this person who said that they didn't want to do the things that we bonded on. They didn't want to. Like, they didn't want to stop smoking or drinking. Like, all the personal development stuff that we were learning, it was hitting right home with me, because I was already in a space of like, yeah, I don't want the typical lifestyle of like working a 9 to 5 and like that's just it, and not having time freedom, money freedom. Like, all the stuff I was learning was music to my ears. And in order for you to get a certain lifestyle, you have to let go a lot of the traditional stuff. That's why I was talking about be willing to unlearn in order to relearn to live the kind of lifestyle that you want. Because if you're attached to the normalcy of partying, clubbing, smoking, drinking, like low vibrational stuff, you will never be able to elevate. You won't be able to elevate and attract the people that are up here on these levels doing the things that you're, wishing and hoping, because you're so attached to being down here at this level with the people that are doing the stuff that you frankly are quite tired of doing. And in order to elevate, you must isolate yourself. But you have to also be careful in isolation, because in isolation, the devil is always working. An idle mind is an idle playground. And you still will be able to attract dark entities that are pretending to be a light source. So you're always supposed to be healing and evolving and willing to shed the layers and the things that no longer service you. And sometimes that's difficult if everyone that you hang out with, like if you have a group of friends and everybody just parties and clubs, it doesn't matter how much you want to stop. Like if you don't stop hanging around those people, you will continue to do those things. Like for myself, I had been wanting to stop like smoking and drinking. It took me so much longer than when I decided at 27 to stop doing that stuff because of who I hung with. Like I'm like, oh, everybody in my family does it. And then I used to hang out with like all my coworkers. Like that was my life. Working my 2 jobs, and if all you do is work, then majority of your friends come from work because that's where you spend the most of your time. So you hang out with the people that you met there, or most people are tied to childhood friends. Like, oh, they're all the people I went to school with, or I lived in the neighborhood, and you probably still live in the same place. So all you know is these people that you grew up with, and then people you meet along all the jobs that you have. And then most people are doing what? They're waiting for Friday. They're waiting to escape their realities. They feel like they worked hard all week and they deserve to relieve themselves via drinking, smoking, clubbing, or retail therapy. And those things are not going to elevate your they're not going to elevate your life. As a matter of fact, they're going to keep you stuck in the rat race, and then just like sitting on the phone, like doing all the typical stuff, sitting on the phone, gossiping, watching TV, like all things that are time wasters. If you have dreams and goals, you will never reach them because you're too attached to the things that somebody else pre-programmed in your head of like, this is how you should spend your time, this is what you should be doing at this age, this is the way that you should be showing up and living. And then as time passes and then you're 30 and you're 40 and just like you fall into that same rut that you see everybody fall into because you didn't take the initiative and the strong will to walk away or to move away or to find new or to be by yourself. There's a lot of people that they would not purposely isolate themselves in order to elevate. Like something like COVID would have to happen again in order for people to put themselves in an isolation in order to elevate themselves. And girl, and that's what I did. Like in 2013, I put myself in my own isolation. And then somebody came into my circle and started playing mind games with me that I didn't realize at the time, but that's a whole nother story. I used to be a jock type and literally showed that I wanted to gain activity. That's why I'm finally growing out of that at 25. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, you don't know how long it will take you, but I think that, let me ask you this, why did you join a gang? I'm pretty sure I already know the answer, but that's interesting. I think that, yeah, people are always looking for community and tribe because people are afraid to be by themselves. I'm the total opposite. I like being by myself. I don't like hanging around with people. Like, I have to be in that kind of mood. I have to be, can you please get down from there? I have to be in that space. I have to be in that mood and that energy. On 90% of the time, I like isolation. I don't really like, because of energy. It's all energy. Like I could be totally fine and then like people come around and you gotta try to please people or try to like, I have to be around people that get me. Like I don't want to be around people that is like, oh, why are you so quiet today, or why are you not as talkative as the other? Like it just is what it is. Doesn't mean something's wrong with me. And the more that you ask or try to project that something's wrong with me, the more pissed off I will become. And it's like, damn, you just fucked up my vibe. Like nothing was wrong with me. I was just chilling. And that's why I'm saying, I want to continue to operate in my authentic self, and I just want to continue to get better in my prayers of asking God for the type of people that I want to attract into my life. Because I don't relate. I've even narrowed the I've narrowed a lot of stuff because I've been stopped smoking, drinking, partying, clubbing. I don't watch TV. I'm not sitting around watching reality TV or dumbing myself down. Can you stop, please? Or dumbing myself down with those things. Like, I spend a lot of time reading. I do a lot of personal development, and a lot of people they're just not there. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to spend a lot of time creating and manifesting and traveling. Like, I have no desires to do the typical traditional things that people do. And so I do have a hard time with finding my tribe of people. Please stop. Please stop. And then, yeah, ever since I became a mom, that makes things like 10 times harder. Especially, so I just get better in my prayers. It's like, I want to find more moms that are on the spectrum and then have kids on the spectrum, because if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And I have no more time in me to try to explain to people about my life and like the many things I have to do to get through the day. So it's all about attraction and like being your authentic self. Right, you want to feel a part of something. But here's what I want to challenge you to do. I want to challenge you to create something that other people want to be a part of, because that's the thing. Like, people do stuff and they stay attached to so much stuff because of that. Like, we as humans, we all want to be a part of something. We all want to be a part of some kind of group or some kind of tribe or something dope or something. It might not even be dope, but like just being in a community. So instead of trying to be a part of something, create something. Like, one of my favorite quotes is, be what you don't see. So you see that everybody's partying, clubbing, ganging, and shooting the shit and lounging around and literally like wasting their time. Be the opposite. Be what you don't see and create it. Even if it just starts with you. Be the person that creates the something that's going to evolve, that is going to attract and change other people's lives. And it's very challenging because you're going to start it and you're going to be by yourself when you first start it. If you have one or two people, that's dope. But don't be afraid to start anything by yourself. But flip it. You have to flip. Everything is the opposite. So if you're looking for friends and you're looking for certain stuff, then you have to create something that people don't see. And you have to create the energy and the vibe. It's a whole process, but it all starts with you. And you have to know that that's the core thing, that everybody wants to feel a part of something. And that's how stuff blows up. That's how things become viral. That's how things become the be all to the end all to be all, is because somebody took the initiative, okay, to be what they didn't see and create something that not everybody wants to be a part of, but a good amount of like people that rock with you. I have so many quotes, but it makes me think of Glorilla's song. Is the Friday song. But anyways, where she was like, I got 1,000,001 haters, but 60,000 fans come to see. Like, you gotta find whatever your number is. Like, it's not gonna be the whole world. It's not gonna be everybody rocking with you. But as long as you got your number and your people that rock with you and what you created, that's all you need. And so a lot of times we put ourselves in a depression and feel sad and stuff because we're like, damn, you're not a part of nothing. Or you stop doing the things that you used to be a part of, which is like what I was saying. When you hang with people that do nothing but get high all day and drink all day and club Thursday through Sunday, when you remove yourself from that, you're going to go through a state of loneliness. You're going to go through a state of isolation. And if you don't learn how to put yourself a focus on stuff that is healthy and to try things that you never tried from, like get into a book club or, learn how to sew, get into like clubs, even if you don't know how to do it, get into spaces that are where you're going to meet new people and you're going to try things that are out of your comfort zone. If you don't, when you're in your state of isolation and you don't put your focus on something else and start, getting those those steps in the next direction, you're gonna slowly gravitate back towards the very things that you say you didn't want to be a part of, because people don't like being alone, and people don't like feeling like a part of something, and people don't like that space of when they're in the in-between or in that gray area. They don't like it. So it's like you have to ask yourself, what are you feeding yourself? And in these environments, were you being fed or were you being eaten off of? And then most times when it's in states of negativity, states of low vibrational frequencies, you're usually being eaten off of in order to feel a part of the something. So it's all the opposite. I'm being an adult now in a strange, very new environment. Well, welcome to adulthood, friend. I don't think that ever changes. The older you get, the stranger you feel, the less friends that you have, the more the life gets hard. Was it you that told me to listen to? I don't think it was you. Somebody told me to listen to. Excuse me, get down. Somebody told me to listen to Janae. These are mamas. Janae Aiko's song Ways, but I don't think it was you. I think it was Aztec. Yeah, life is gonna get harder. More stuff is gonna get put on your plate. So if you don't remove the things that are not serving you in a way that's lowering your vibrational patterns, in a way that's keeping your mind not clear, in a way that's not elevating you and your lifestyle, then as you get older and more things get put on your plate, the more challenging your life is going to be than it necessarily needs to be. No, you know what? Because I be doing the late night. You be getting on my late night lives too, but I'm pretty sure that it was Aztec that people was giving me music referrals to listen to, and I was like, "Dag, like, I've not been listening to music. I'm telling you, since 2000." My child. I have like about 5 more minutes. I gotta get off. I have been in a state of just really personal development. Like, I'll do some videos on those topics, but like when I get in the car, like I either listen to silence and I'm talking to myself, talking myself through things, or turn your car into a mobile university, meaning instead of listening to music and things that are not feeding your brain and making you think and progressing you anywhere, listen to personal development videos, listening to motivational and inspirational speakers, listening to people that are, we got a bunch of podcasts now, but that's pretty new, honestly. But listening to things that are like feeding your brain, listening to audiobooks. I've been doing that since 2014. My library of books have just grown so crazy. And I do a lot of reading. I do a lot. I don't like, it was because of my breakup that I started back listening to music. But I was not listening to them. I wasn't keeping up with celebrities or gossip or any of that stuff. Like, I've literally shifted and transitioned my entire life since 2014. So all the typical things, the long, boring work of building yourself and removing things, like I've went through that process, and that's where turn your life into a lifestyle all comes from, of me. Stay over here. Ouch. Oh dear. So I advise you to like read more, work on yourself more, get into rooms and environments, and challenge yourself. Do things that you would never do. Join clubs that seem like boring or something that you're not interested in. Join it. Because you don't know who you will meet. You don't know what will come from it, of you just putting yourself out there and challenging yourself versus doing the stuff that you're used to. Or if, because it sounds like you are in your own state of isolation and you're trying to start those, trying to figure out yourself and your new acceptance of to adulthood. So if you don't want to go back to like addiction and gangs and all that stuff, like don't stay in your state of isolation too long. And even in your state of isolation, make sure you rest, make sure you hydrate. But read, yo. Reading has changed my life. Reading has changed my life. And just wanting to like grow the biggest library I possibly can with all books that I read. I have to start all over now because I left all that stuff in that house. And I have like a handful of books now. So I have to start my whole library back over. But that brings me joy now. Starting a library and like growing things, watching things grow from a seed to a plant. Like all things that I probably would have thought was boring and had no interest in. I'm attracted to now. And like I want to attract people who are just like me or better than me. I don't want to attract people that are low vibrational. All right. My child has left me. All right, I gotta go. So I'll leave you on my three topics. 1, don't let anybody label you. Those who try to label you want you to live in lack and not in your purpose. 2, don't let anybody put you in a box, because those who try to put you in a box is only because they cannot get out of theirs. And 3, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And you do that by taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own rescue and saving yourself. Okay? Because absolutely, positively, nobody's coming to save you. So you must save yourself. And if you're able to tap into yourself more and out of the world less, you in return will save yourself from the life that your parents want you to live, society wants you to live, and the job systems and the school systems try to create for you to live within. And you were not born to work a job, pay bills, and die. Like you were not born to just exist. You were born to live in abundance and prosperity. And a life of luxury is your birthright. So I don't know if I'll get on later. If I don't, I'll check in with you tomorrow.